welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be on my foundation routine. I know a lot of times when I do eyeshadow looks, I usually just kind of cut the footage and then skip back to where I finished my foundation. So today I wanted to come and show you guys how I actually do my foundation. So for starters, I have a few favorite foundations. I'll actually do a separate video on that, but for today I'm just going to be wearing my Nars All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation. I am in the color CADIZ, and I like this foundation because it's lightweight. It goes on super easy, and it usually lasts all day for me. Before I do that, of course, I'm gonna go in with my primer, the Makeup Forever Step 1, and this one is just a primer to kind of fill out my pores. So I'm just gonna put that on very generously. Now, actually, before I go in with my foundation, I'm actually going to color correct in some areas. I like to color correct under my eyes because I have hereditary bags that are just literally out of this world. So I like to color correct here and there where I feel like it's necessary. But a major tip is that you do not want to over color correct because your foundation will come out orange. Like, you can literally change the undertone of your foundation if you overdo it. So I just like to put it where I feel I need it, blend it out with a beauty blender. This is the one by Real Techniques. If you cannot afford the actual beauty blender, this is a great one to start off with. Alright, so now on for my foundation. I already have my foundation on my hand. I'm just going to be using Elf's Flat Top Kabuki Powder Brush to stipple on my foundation. This is literally like one of my top 5 foundation brushes because, as you can see, it gives you an even coverage in no time. Like, it literally just helps blend in my foundation to my skin, and I don't have to do like any extra work. I really don't. This foundation, however, is super blendable as well, so these two together really work well. Alright, so once I have my foundation to my liking, I'm gonna go in with my current favorite concealer. I'm not sure if it's my all-time favorite yet, but it's definitely what I've been using lately. And this is the Tarte Shape Tape, and I have mine in the color Tan Sand. This foundation, I mean, this concealer has like a lot of hype. I do like it because the coverage is full, but I also feel like it's drying. Like, it definitely dries down super matte, but I also feel like it's a little bit too matte. I don't really have super dry skin. My skin is usually pretty normal, but I just feel like this concealer is just, I don't know, like, I like it, but it's super blendable definitely, but I don't know. So as you can see, I'm just gonna put this underneath my eyes, down the bridge of my nose, a little bit on my chin, and that's about it. And I'm gonna be taking my beauty blender and blending it out. So now that I have my concealer blended out, me personally, I like a very defined highlight. And if you put on all of your foundation first and then put on your highlight, it does blend better, true, but it does take away from the actual color of your concealer. So I like to go over with just literally like just a light coat like that, just so that I get some of the pigment back. And as you guys can see, like, that really made a huge difference, and it's just enough. And I don't like to make my entire face look brighter, which is why I don't do it everywhere. I just do it right up underneath my eyes and a little bit on the bridge of my nose. Now, because I have very deep hereditary bags, the next step, I usually literally go right in with my Laura Mercier setting powder and set underneath my eyes, because if I don't, it's literally gonna start to crack up like by the time I do anything else. So I'm just gonna take the same damp beauty blender and make sure I look all the way up to get into all my creases and set underneath my eyes. That's like the most important part. And me personally, I don't like to bake. I have reservations about baking. I feel like baking just kind of dries out your concealer and everything. So I like to just apply a light coat with the damp beauty blender and just press it into my skin. So once I have my face set with my under eye powder, I'm gonna go in with one of my favorite powders. Even though sometimes this powder can get a little bit orange on me, it's still like my favorite powder because it's so light. And this is the MAC Mineralize powder. This is the powder that I use no matter what foundation I put it on. I use this powder. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this powder and I'm gonna be setting all of the warm places in my face. I like to take a blending brush, and this is Morphe's M535 brush, and go down the sides of my nose just to redefine where my nose is. And I would definitely suggest using a blending brush because it applies it in a density that's blendable. A lot of times I see people contour or color contour or whatever you want to call it just to try to get some definition, and they're drawing very harsh lines that you're literally just about to go right behind it and blend back out. So I like to layer all of my makeup. I like to take my time because it's easier for me, and I feel like it gives me a more seamless finish if I apply in layers. All right, so now that I have all of my powder done, this is where I like to go back underneath my eye and finish my eyeshadow. I do this after I've set under my eyes because if you do it before, you're gonna end up covering up with concealer and your powders. So once my powders are done, I like to go underneath my eye and add the rest of my eyeshadow and mascara. So I'm gonna do that and I'll be right back. All right guys, so I have completed the rest of my face. I finished my eyes and added my lip for this look. I did have to finish that in another video because this is actually also gonna be an eye tutorial. So I'm just gonna be taking this Wet n Wild bronzer and putting it into like the hollows of my cheeks. And remember that bronzer is there to add warmth to your face, whereas contour is going to add dimension. So this is not really to add any definition, just to add some warmth. Now to contour lightly, this is just like my daily contour. I don't really overdo it for contour. My face is round and I'm okay with that. So I just like to add a little bit of this shade here, which is like almost my skin tone, just a little bit more. I feel like it's more red than me, and this one is a little bit paler. So I like to mix the two to create the perfect soft contour. I do not like a hard contour unless I don't know where I could be going, but I like to mix the two and place. And as you can see, it blends perfectly. Like I just like a soft contour, which is why I like to add a little bit of bronzer first beneath so that my contour has something soft to blend into and it's not super harsh. So now that I'm done with my bronzer and soft contour, I just want to keep my face very clean today. I do want to add a little bit of highlighter, of course. Like I really can't even go like a day without highlighter. The highlighter I'm using today is not an actual highlighter. It's like an elixir of a few different ones with some argan oil and some Fix Plus and some other sprays, just because I haven't found a nice natural highlight that I feel like comes ready to go. So I like to mix a few and create my own soft glow highlight. And for highlight, I also like to highlight above my brow. By placing your highlight here, you literally lift your face. So I like to add a little bit of highlight there as well because I like the lift. It's very soft. And of course, if you're going somewhere, you can definitely take all the places that I just added a little bit of bronziness, and you can definitely contour, and you can take all of the places that I'm highlighting and put on a bigger beam of a highlight. But I'm literally going to Bible study, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be slaying just for Bible study. So I just like to add a little bit here and there. And I don't know, like, I just like to mix my own highlighters because I feel like highlighters these days are so super gritty that they don't blend well into the skin. So a quick tip for that is adding a little bit of shea butter or oil to your favorite highlighters. It kind of helps them just blend into the skin better. And I just found that they look more natural to me. Not that I don't like a beam and highlight, I do. But on the days like today where I just want it to melt into my skin, I need it to melt into my skin and not look like a streak of glitter. All right, so now that I'm done highlighting my face, that's pretty much the last step I like to take. I will take a little bit of my Urban Decay setting spray and set my face, or my Pure Miracle Mist, which is like more of a hydrating spray, or sometimes I'll honestly mix the two, just depends. But because I know it's warmer outside, I'm gonna opt in for this because my skin already looks dewy because of my oils, and that's gonna be pretty much it. Guys, so I hope that you enjoyed watching my foundation routine. It's really easy. It's more time consuming on camera because I have to stop, talk, and kind of let you guys know what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. But from day to day, it probably takes me about 30 minutes to apply and blend my foundation. To me, if you're gonna wear foundation, concealer, and the whole shebang, you might as well do it right, and you might as well take your time. So that's about how long it takes me. Of course, I will be doing a drugstore edition because these are higher end products. I will be doing a drugstore edition probably next week so you guys can see how I can also get my face to look like this when I'm using my cheaper products, if I'm having a short day or if I don't need a face that's gonna last all day. So I wanna thank you guys so much for watching my video, and make sure you subscribe before you go. I'll see you guys in the next video.